Welcome back to Make Writing Visible. Oh, what are we talking about this time? We are talking about writing funny. Yes, with my clown nose and my giggle. I want to challenge you to write funny. Writing funny can be fun, but it also is not an easy kind of writing to do. Like any kind of writing. If you want to do a new kind of writing, I challenge you to back up and to be aware of that skill as a reader first. So start reading funny stories, funny picture books, and when you read them, stop and pause and think, how did the author do the funny part? And as you analyze those, then you will be more aware of the funny parts of stories, and you can start adding funny parts to your own stories. So, as a reader, I will give you a couple of examples from the Mrs. Shepherd series. I have a series of books that are all about one classroom and a different kid in the story as a main character in each of the stories. In the book Science Fair Day, the main character in the story is called Ima Kinda Nosy. And there's Ima Kinda Nosy right there. And when she is kind of nosy, she certainly gets herself into trouble in the story. Her name, Ima Kinda Nosy. I wrote it like this, Ima Kinda Nosy, two names first and last, but I really meant it to sound like a 5-word sentence. I am kind of nosy. So, I am kind of nosy. Sounds like her name, Ima Kinda Nosy. In another example in the Mrs. Shepherd book, Pajama Day, the main character in this story is named Drew A. Blank. And there's Drew A. Blank, and there up here you can see his name. So he has the first name Drew, middle initial A, and last name Blank. Why is that a perfect name for him? Well, in this story, Pajama Day, he's forgetful. He forgets his PJs, he forgets his slippers, he forgets his breakfast snack, and the whole phrase Drew A. Blank means that you forget. So it's a perfect name for him because he draws a blank. He forgets his name, Drew A. Blank. So good choice of name for him. A couple of examples as a reader that you could look at. I have a book, Only Cows Allowed, and this is a book filled with puns. And puns, P-U-N-S, puns, are word jokes. This book has a lot of puns. The cows wouldn't move. Move is a pun because cows say moo, and moo is the beginning of move. So in this story, cows have attitudes and they don't want to let the other animals go in the barn. They wouldn't move. Another example in this story, the horses came up with a whinnying plan. So whinnying sounds like winning plan, but horses make a whinny sound, so they came up with a whinnying plan. Word joke. Another example as a reader that you could check out, The Blizzard Wizard. And in The Blizzard Wizard, the wizard tries to make snow spells, but he can't find his snow spell, so his spells get mixed up. And one of the spells, he says, white and fluffy, fluffy and white, rah, 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 sis, boom, bah. And when he makes the fluffy white bah spell, what happens? Sheep fall from the sky instead of snow. And on this page it says that they made beautiful snowmen. So by making beautiful snowmen, it plays with ba for sheep, and it puts it at the beginning of the word beautiful. So they are beautiful. Some wordplay. So if you guys find examples as readers, there's going to be a handout with this blog that you guys can be sort of humor detectives and find funny parts in stories and books and write them down and talk about and think about how the author made them funny. Then you're ready to start trying to make your own funny writing. And to make your own funny writing, a suggestion I would have for you is that you could start with a group. Excuse me, but my clown nose is kind of slipping. I thought you could start with a group such as maybe animals. And so what you could do is brainstorm some animal names. So I might say moose, and I might say penguin, and I might say ant, and I might say lobster, and I might say porcupine, and I'm going to brainstorm the animals. And then after I think of animals within that group, then what I could do is to think of what makes each of those animals special. So for a moose, what makes a moose special would be the moose's antlers. So when I think of antlers for a moose, I could think, what could I do with antlers? What if I put a P in the front of antlers? Pantlers. And then I could say, every morning when the moose got up, the first thing he put on were his pantlers. I'm making a joke, putting P in the front. Pant sounds like pants, and the moose wears antlers. And that would be such a funny illustration if you did it. I mean, can't you see a moose and then you do an illustration where he has a pair of pants going over the antlers for his pantlers? Or if I did the lobster, what stands out for a lobster would be the claw. And so I might say something like, oh, the lobster had such a clawful day. And I'm using awful, but I'm putting the CL in front of it to make it be clawful day. He had a positively clawful day. Just a terrible, awful, clawful day. So you're playing with the words there. Another option that you could look at is you could have a one word pig. And then what you could do is you could brainstorm pig things around the word pig. So you might think, oh, a pig is pink. A pig says oink. A pig lives in a pig pen. A famous pig is Wilbur. Or Babe is another famous pig. Or pig can be made into bacon. Or baby pig is a piglet. You get the idea? Do lots of brainstorming so that I'm thinking of words that have something to do with a pig. And then I could choose one of those. I might say, oh, the poor pig hurt so much he needed some ointment. Ointment, like ointment. He had to put ointment on. So I'm playing with a pig word. Or maybe I could do this one. How did the pig create such wonderful art? He did it using his pig pen. Well, pen is obviously the idea of a pen, something you write with. And thinking of the idea of a pig making art with his pig pen. So he would splash the all the leftover food and the mud and the slop over a canvas, and that would be a cool illustration for him to make his pig pen, or with the emphasis on the pen, because that's something you could draw with, and it's also part of the word pig pen. So that gives you an idea to get started to try to do some writing funny. You could do it on your own. You could do it as a class so that you guys can work together and brainstorm things. It would be a fun kind of writing to do for a summer challenge with summer break approaching. You could challenge to think of as many school jokes, and so you could come back to the next school year and maybe you've generated a whole bunch of school jokes, or maybe they were summer jokes. So I hope you will have fun writing funny. And you will find on this blog a handout to approach writing funny as a reader, and also a challenge to do some writing funny as a writer, and enjoy.